The Zone of Interest is a film by Jonathan Glazer. Now, his last film that I've seen of his was Under the Skin, which is a really creepy, weird, alien sci-fi movie based off of a book. This one's very different though. This one's about a commandant named Rudolph. Him and his wife and his 5 kids live in the dream house. They've made a sort of paradise over the last 3 years out of 4 being stationed outside of Auschwitz. This movie is based off a novel, but decided to take the perspective of a high-ranking SS officer instead of focusing on the concentration camps. However, you still get that atmospheric sort of bleakness because you hear gunshots, you hear screaming, you see the ashes from the burning humans alive, and you hear sometimes the Jews get in trouble and you hear chatter. It's a really disturbing film, very heavy subject matter, and explored in a very subtle way. The family, the first shot of the movie is basically just blackness, and then we get a family frolicking by the riverside, and it's kind of like, oh, what is this? And then we introduce the house, and there's like this big garden, and they've essentially are really proud of themselves. They're almost lying to themselves because they think this is some great paradise. However, this is all very not enjoyed by the rest of the people. There's a couple of Jewish servants that are like, they're not paid, so they're basically there to just do household chores, do deliveries. Then there's also the wife, Hedwig. Her mom comes for a visit, and everything seems to be fine at first, but you can tell there's this unease that's sort of just building slowly as the visit goes on. And then you can like see the ash coming from the smokestacks next door. I mean, it's really hard to ignore it, but this family pretends that this is their paradise, and there's a lot of juxtaposition between them having like lemonade on the porch and then people screaming next door. And it's a very stark film. However, it's very repetitive in one note. I mean, that's a really interesting experiment, to have none of it seen and just having it sort of closed off, like you're experiencing it like one of the children, just not understanding. However, the film then does something with the main character. He gets transferred out, and we sort of get some more bureaucracy in seeing how the Nazis did things in terms of trying to exterminate more Jews, and it becomes really heavy. And then the film just sort of ends. Very powerful message, but I feel like the film doesn't have much going for it. It's a little pretentious. The acting's fine, and there's lots of nuanced performances in there and interesting little side characters, and it's very creepy and unsettling, but it doesn't have much to offer besides making you feel it uneasy, and then that's it. There's not much else going on. I was looking forward to maybe seeing all of it taken down by American soldiers, or having something happen like a Jewish prisoner escapes over the wall, but they don't really play up any of that sort of tension. It's all sort of done sort of like you're just there, a fly on the wall, and it's not that interesting. So I give The Zone of Interest a 5 out of 10.